July 1st, 1922. 50 years on the footplate. Oldest engine driver tells his story. Probably the oldest engine driver in the country is Mr. James Goodall, of Worcester, who started his career on the railway in 1863, 59 years ago. I was 19 years of age then, Mr. Goodall told the Titbits man, and I had been working in a colliery since I was 12. I began as a cleaner, and soon worked my way up to the position of fireman. But it was not until 1871 that I became an engine driver. I made my first trip in charge of an engine in a peculiar way. There was a thick fog, and the driver of the Worcester to Crewe Express refused to take his train out, declaring that it was too dangerous. I was the only other man in the sheds who knew the line, and in spite of the fact that I had just come off a 12-hour spell of duty and that I was only a fireman, the superintendent decided that I should take charge of the train. I did so, and completed the journey without the slightest mishap. Perhaps the most interesting part of my life was my connection with John Bromley, whom everybody knows as the secretary of the Associated Society of Locomotive Engineers. At one time Mr. Bromley was my fireman, and we were great friends. I may claim to have taught him a lot that has helped him to gain success, and among other things I showed him how to make his first public speech. Things were very different in those days from what they are now. Engines were not nearly so good, and they were always breaking down. I had several breakdowns myself, but I always managed to get home somehow. I never had an accident, although once I had a very narrow escape. I just managed to pull up before we collided with a goods train, and I still possess a letter from the company thanking me for preventing a disaster. Among the many celebrated people I have driven was our present Queen, when she was Princess May. I have traveled over 1,000,000 miles on the footplate, and I think that driving is a splendid occupation. If I could start over again, I should still be an engine driver. Mr. Goodall, in spite of his 78 years. There are thousands of great videos like this on the channel. Please take a look. Please share and subscribe or visit the Bonswivit channel on eBay, which has over 250,000 rare and collectible items listed.